Welcome to our event, Reboot 360, hosted by RCC Diva, proudly supported by our President, Manisha Pramod Chordia. Bring back business confidence and propel economy back on rails post-lockdown. This event, we are having conversation with prominent personalities to share their words of wisdom and help others survive and thrive. Yes, we are proud to have Captain Soniya Jain among us, who is bold, competitive, strong-headed woman who flies commercial aeroplane for her passions. When a woman determines to do something, nothing in this universe is powerful enough to stop her. Born in Chennai and hailing from enterprising Rajasthani family, Captain Soniya made the community proud by pursuing her passion and flying high in her career to become the first woman Jain pilot. Since she was a child, aircraft always fascinated her. It was an early sign that little Soniya would grow up to become a pilot. Her feat got her accolades and appreciation from across the spectrum, which includes the Naari Ratna Award and the Rajasthan Yuva Ratna, to name a few. Apart from flying, Captain Soniya is licensed paraglider, kuchipudi classical dancer, and she loves rafting, chess, listening to music, and reading books. Wow, ma'am, you have a bunch of hobbies. Very nice. An inspiration, Captain Soniya Jain didn't follow the herd when it came to choosing a career path. She followed her heart, and we all know where it landed her. Welcome, Soniya ji. So happy to have
Thank
you
you.
among us.
Thank you.
So, dear Captain Soniya, what was your inspiration and motivation behind choosing this profession of being a pilot? And what are the qualities required for being a professional commercial pilot?
Okay. Inspiration, it was my younger brother. He's 3.5 years younger to me, and he always wanted to be a pilot from childhood. So I just got inspired by him. And I always wanted to do something different, get into some science field, wanted to be an archaeologist or a reporter or something like that. But when this thing came up, I got totally inspired. And since it's a new field, there was no one from our community, no girls. I just thought I should just take a leap and try this new field. And talking about qualities of a pilot, there are quite a few. Let me just shortlist it and tell you one needs to be very composed, confident, self-disciplined, and should have a sense of responsibility. I would say one should have quick thinking, planning, and decision-making skills, and definitely should be very, very good team leader.
Yes, and I think you have all the right qualities in you, ma'am. Looks
Ah,
confident. Okay, ma'am. So, do we know? We do know that you are in profession where the representation of women is about 10% of workforce, and you should have faced comments like they wasted the seat and all that. After marriage, babies, and how do you handle these situations, ma'am?
see, लोगों का काम है कहना. लोग तो कहते रहेंगे. But I didn't listen to anyone. I just listened to my heart. मैं हवा हूँ और मेरा काम है बहते रहना. So that's what it was. When I stepped into this field, my parents heard a lot of taunts. लड़की है, ऐसी फील्ड में डाल रहे हैं, definitely success नहीं होंगे. And then when I eventually became a pilot, they was like, अब लड़का कहाँ से मिलेगा, इसकी तो शादी नहीं होगी. So there was a constant pressure on my parents. And then when I got married and when I had a kid, then the next question was, बच्चा हो गया, अब थोड़ी job करेगी, अब तो छोड़ी देगी. So these things, they keep coming. But things are changing now. Families have become broad-minded. Girls are very ambitious, and there are supportive families. And I'm very lucky. I had a supportive family. My father, my parents sweated out to make me a pilot. So my husband pushed me and made sure I pursue my career even after my child. And my family, my in-laws and my parents always stood like a rock besides me. Every hurdle I faced. And 10 years of marriage, 7 years of motherhood, and I'm still going steady. Thank God.
Oh, really, really an inspiration. And seriously, nothing can be done without family's help. That's true.
Family support is must.
Yes, yes, ma'am. So life has no map. It's made of random events, although always caused by something beyond your control. So, Captain Sonia, do you have any real life incident to share with us which left a very deep impact on your life as a pilot?
Well, yes, 10 years of flying with Air India, and I have flown around 7,000 hours. And during these flights, I have flown different kinds of people: ministers, celebrities, students, marriage troops, army men, navy people, etc., etc. But there was one day I remember when I flew this family. This is a very heartbreaking incident, and I had flown from Chennai to Andaman, Port Blair, and I was coming back. And when I was about to depart from Port Blair, I was informed that there is a family with me who has just lost their son, and the son is in the coffin in the cargo compartment, and he's not sitting with them. So it was a family of 4 people: mother, father, daughter, and son, who had come for a holiday. The father had retired and they had come for a holiday to Port Blair. And because of some incident, the son lost his life. He was a teenager. He was in his late teens, around 18, 19. And the family was going back without their son. Imagine, they are sitting on board and the son is down in the cargo department. Oh God, I was supposed to go and talk to them. I felt it was my inbuilt duty to go console them and meet the parents as a captain of the flight. But I was lost of words. What do I tell that family? Then I realized life is too short. It's so unpredictable. Anything can happen anytime. And that's when I decided that I have to live each moment. You need to learn to love, learn to forgive, and learn to give as much as you can to people around you, and do as much as you want, as your heart wants, and achieve whatever you can, because you don't know when the life will end. It was very heartbreaking, but it taught me a very big lesson.
Real life incidents, ma'am. True, true. So, strong women aren't simply born, they are forged through the challenges of life. So, Captain, being a woman, how much was it a challenge to you choosing this profession? And also, how do you cope up with challenges faced as a mother of a little child?
Okay, I am clearly in a male-dominated field. And secondly, pilot's job is the third riskiest job in the world. And so in such a position where I am, when I stepped in, it was a totally new field, no one from my community. So I had to start from the scratch. And when you're in that 10% of the community, the girls, where 90% are men, all eyes are on you, all eyes are assessing you, how you're performing. So when I entered this field, I was very determined that it will be my work which will talk and not my gender. So I gave my 200%. Yes, you have to give your 200% to show that you are here to work and to make your own unique identity and for nothing else. So, it's very true that once you make an image in an organization and you have the right attitude, you can step up the ladder very, very conveniently. And that's exactly what I did. But when I had a child, that was a time, it was kind of a breakdown for me. And I wasn't sure myself that will I be able to continue with my kind of job, which has got such erratic schedules and erratic timings. And with leaving a 1-year-old behind and going for a couple of days, I wasn't very sure if I'll be able to manage it. But then, I realized that a woman has got the power to bring a new soul to this earth. So she can achieve whatever she wants. It's only the willpower. And as I told, I did have the support of my family. And my husband was very clear: you have earned so much, you've worked so much to make a career. So why do you want to give it up? So when I left my son, a 1-year-old son, for 2 months at a stretch and went for my retraining to Hyderabad, it was the toughest time of my life, but that was the strongest I became. I knew that now I can do anything, I can achieve anything. It's just that you need to manage and know your priorities.
Hats off to your heart. Very good, ma'am.
Thank
And
you.
with each challenge, you have grown mentally and emotionally. You moved forward with your head held high and a strength that cannot be denied. But fate is a monster, and we have no hand in certain incidents, like technical faults, for example, leading to major breathtaking stuff. Did you ever face a similar situation when quick decisions was key?
Yes, a lot of times, in fact, a pilot's life is all about making quick decisions, instant planning, and all of that. And something, if I need to mention over here, would be an incident which was similar to Charki Dadri incident. I don't know how many of you have heard about Charki Dadri. It was the worst aircraft disaster in the world. It was the only mid-air collision which happened between two aircrafts, and all the passengers died in both the aircrafts. So I was about to have a similar incident like that. It was a December night when I was flying to Dubai, and I was a co-pilot then. And I had I was doing my duties and my commander was doing his duties when I suddenly noticed a blip on my screen. So whenever we have a traffic, it comes as a blip on the screen. And when I saw that, I intimated to my captain that we have a traffic, and I was cruising. I was flying at 34,000 feet. And if there is a traffic coming ahead across you, opposite direction, then he has to be either 1,000 feet above or below so that you people never meet the path. But what happened is this aircraft was a Sri Lankan guy, and we were under Muscat airspace. I was over Arabian Sea. As I told you, I was going to Dubai. And Muscat controller had told the Sri Lankan aircraft to climb to 35,000 feet, and I was flying at 34,000 feet. But the Sri Lankan guy, for no, I don't know what reason, he didn't climb to 35,000 feet. He was cruising at 34,000 feet, coming head on, exactly like this. And now I was just 20 seconds to collision. And I kept contacting the controller. There was no response from him. He was dumbstruck. He had no answer to give me. And I cannot leave the airspace. You know, I cannot change the level when and how I want without a permission. But now the 20 seconds collision became 15 seconds. And in 15 seconds, I was about to collide that aircraft. And that's when I had loud warning in the aircraft. There were red lights flashing all over. There was buzzer, loud buzzer talking traffic, traffic, traffic. And in that instant, if I would have frozen, I wouldn't have been here talking to you. So that was the time when I had to take instant reaction. I had no time to freeze. I had no time to think. I immediately disconnected my autopilot and shoved the aircraft down. And I just lost my level, went down by 6,000 feet immediately. And that's how I missed that aircraft, and I saved my life and all other passengers' life. You know, such incidents don't happen to us every day. And that's the time when you cannot allow any of your problems to come into your head. You cannot freeze, you can't take your own sweet time, and that's the time you have to instantly react. And that was an incident which I will never ever forget in my life, and I don't wish it happens to anyone.
Wow, sounds more like a movie, you know.
It was.
A nightmare, actually. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, wherever you go becomes a part of you somehow. You have now like traveled to a number of places with extreme climates and harsh weather conditions. How do you manage all this, Captain?
Yeah, you know, I am very scared of cold weather. I cannot take cold weather. I don't even want AC in my room, you know. And likewise, you know, coming from an orthodox background where we are used to being pampered so much by our parents, जो चाहिए खाना बना के मिल जाता है, you get whatever you want. And suddenly, you know, when I joined aviation, my first international trip was all alone. I landed in Dubai again, and I had no one around. I was on my own, and I had to explore the streets on my own, talk to people, figure out where to go, how to go. And then, you know, I wouldn't even know what I'm eating. As far as it is vegetarian, eggless, I would give it a try. And initially what you're eating, you wouldn't know. And then later I developed the taste of it. And then I started liking Lebanese, Thai. And now I'm into trying all the cuisines and really like eating them also. And I'm a hardcore vegetarian. I will not even eat pastries or cake with egg. And I used to carry my food along, theplas and puris and all of it. And I still do carry. And whenever we have Pajushan, Chamasa, I try and strictly follow it. And I do carry my food also. But this is all, very interesting part of life. And I know that there'll be stories to tell, and there'll be a lot of learning and teaching in future. And I talk about this. So it's a very interesting journey. And as my every flight, I have different crew, different destinations, different climate. It is always something which I look forward to.
So how many countries approximately you've traveled, ma'am?
Okay, I think I would have traveled as a professional pilot. I would have flown to around 15 to 20 countries, and otherwise also I love traveling. So on holidays I would have gone like, I don't know, maybe 30, 35. I'm an avid traveler, and so is my husband. Lucky us.
Okay, ma'am. So the Indian government is carrying on largest evacuation exercise, Vande Bharat mission, to repatriate all Indians stranded abroad due to coronavirus lockdown. And you should be feeling proud for serving India during the COVID pandemic. Have you been assigned any more international flights scheduled to you in the future?
Yes, I did one flight on May 21st. I had flown passengers from Kuwait to Hyderabad and then to Chennai. And that was my first Vande Bharat mission flight. And I have always wanted to be part of some mission, and I'm so glad that I got this opportunity. And when we do this mission flights, it's not easy. The government and the airline takes all precautions. So I have to do 3 COVID tests. One test was before my flight, one was immediately after my flight, and the last one was 5 days after my flight. And today, again, I have given a COVID test for a flight which I'll be operating 2 days later, either to Bangkok or Doha. And then again, once I land back, I'm sent back to the hotel for 2 days where I'm quarantined. I have to give a test. Only if it comes negative, I can come back home. And I feel very, very proud to be part of this mission where I could help our Indians some way or the other.
Yeah, great, ma'am. Socially, you're doing a very good job, ma'am. Thank you. So, many of the world's airlines are bankrupt today because of COVID-19, and they have already collapsed, declared bankruptcy. So, suspended operations because of the pandemic, of course. What measures do you think the government will have to take to save the industry?
This is a very dark period, and the most affected industry is travel and aviation. Undoubtedly, as you say, a lot of airlines have filed bankruptcy, and the airline industry is looking up to the government for a lot of investment. They need to pump in money. And likewise, the government is also looking for investors who can bring up the airlines who are going under losses at the moment. But this is a temporary phase. This will also pass, and it will be like reviving and starting a new airline altogether once again. So these airlines are also doing some management, and they are working out strategies, fair prices, so that they can also revive slowly. And government is also doing all the needful measures. And let's see what happens next.
So when do you think these international flights will start off again?
International flights have already begun, but not for the passengers to go outbound, but for inbound. As I told the Vande Bharat mission, we are flying almost to all countries outside India to bring people back. But now to fly international, the other countries need to ease out their regulations. All the countries are now restricting any passengers to come inside. So once they open up, which I don't think will happen anytime in a month's time now, let's wait and watch. Probably by August, slowly we should resume. Again, depending on the countries who allow us.
So, ma'am, your life is like a roller coaster. Up and down, round and round. So, what do you do apart from flying? What are your hobbies or your leisure time? What do you do?
I'm a very, very crazy wild girl. Trust me. I love adventures. I am a paraglider, licensed paraglider. I'm a classical kuchipudi dancer. So I want to be everywhere. I want to do everything. And especially after the incident which I told you, I have learned one thing, that don't miss out any opportunity. Be crazy, be wild, be silly, do whatever you want, be wherever you want. And I love dancing, I love partying, and I love cooking. I sit and play cards with my in-laws. I plan surprises. I go on dates with my husband. I'm doing everything. It's just that planning is required, which I do it once I land from my aircraft, and by the time I come back home, which is a 45 minutes drive. So I utilize this 45 minutes to plan rest of my day, and I'm actually doing everything possible.
Multitasking, ma'am. So, ma'am,
We
you are
all are
an.
multitaskers.
So, and what message would you give to the girls, ma'am, of Rajasthan community?
Okay, I would like to tell that each girl is a superwoman by herself. You have your identity, and see, I belong to the sky. You figure out where you belong to. Give wings to your dreams, and most importantly, trust in yourself, believe in yourself, and love yourself. If you love what you are, I'm sure you would love what you do. So go ahead. We are the girls of new millennium. You're the millennial girls. So you're no more those delicate darlings. You're no more those decked up dolls, but you're here to make a difference to the society. So just go ahead. You're an iron lady and do what you want to do. All the best.
Wow, ma'am. That was awesome and real inspiration to all the girls out here, all the girls, especially the Rajasthani community who think the girls should sit at home and roti banana hai, shadi karna hai. No, now this is what the women of today is. Superb, ma'am. Thank you so much. It was a real pleasure having you here with us. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. It was a pleasure as well.
Thank
Take
you.
care.